Hey all, and welcome back to Fuzzy Ducksy Gaming. I've had this video in mind for a few days, but I wanted to make sure that there wasn't a huge shake-up on how we run and complete maps in 3.15 before releasing it. Now the video we're going to run through today is all around engineering contracts and how they can be used to get a big supply of maps to either aid your own map sustain and completion or sell to other players. So in this test I ran 20 level 80 to 83 engineering contracts. I just ran what I had, and although the number is not a huge sample size, it allowed me to get a good feel of what to expect from these contracts. So let's firstly start with the possible reward chest that you can get for engineering contracts, and there are 4 types. The main one you're going to come across is unique chests. I pretty much always skip these because really they just contain worthless uniques. I've opened lots of these and I've not had anything drop that's worth any currency, so I'm not going to spend time adding on to each contract opening up these chests. If I open a contract and there are only unique chests, I'll just loot as many small chests as I can and then exit. The next chest you're going to come across are essences, and at the level of contracts that I was running, these are always screaming essences, so definitely always worth looting. The third type of chest that you're going to come across are question mark chests, and these have random loot in them, but often chaos orbs. You get lots of various currencies in these chests. In the 20 contracts that I run, I had 30 raw chaos drop from these and the other small chests around. And then the last lot of chests that you get are the ones we're really aiming for, are map chests. Now these are rarer than the other chests, and it is possible to go 4 to 5 contracts without seeing one. But in just 20 contracts, I ended up with 7 white maps, 16 yellow maps, 9 lower tier red maps, and a whopping 15 tier 14 plus red maps. I also got lucky and had a Guardian map drop and 3 unique maps. You also get various mapping currency, including horizon orbs, chisels, and sextants. Now I'm going to be completely honest, I don't remember the price of these lastly, but I'm pretty sure they were only a couple of chaos each. So if these are cheap, they're a great option for either map sustain or making currency. Tier 14 and above maps are invaluable for either our own Atlas progression and sustain, or to sell to profit. These are also viable at any levels if you're still progressing your Atlas, as this could give you maps that you're missing instead of buying maps from other players. It's also useful early on when you're running the 4 corners of the Atlas to help speed up the spawn of the first set of conquerors. I'd recommend, if you've not got a 100 plus completion bonus, that you run these contracts as soon as you get them and regardless of the level, and look out for cheap ones on the market. This can be a really good solution to the frustration that a lot of players get when they have to run lower tier maps because they've run out of higher tier maps. Now I know a lot of people say you can always sustain maps if you chisel and alch your maps properly, but early on you only need a bad run of RNG to set you back. Running these contracts and opening the side chests will also give you lots of currency to then be able to roll these maps to get more quantity on them. It's also worthwhile keeping an eye out for cheap blueprints that might have multiple map rooms, as these can also be really lucrative. So when people are buying blueprints in the last league, they're only really looking for big items such as currency, delirium, blight, etc. I don't know anyone who was looking for mapping blueprints, so you may be able to pick some up really cheap. Now as with any contracts I run, I'm being selective as to what I loot and when I loot the end item, and it's normally dependent on how short the contract is. If looting the contract takes me close to the target and it's not too far to get back, then I'll loot it, as it helps sustain rogue markers and can also fund blueprints. Now overall, I wouldn't necessarily say these are better than perception contracts for money making, as a lot of people hate selling maps, but to aid us with map sustain and completion, they're really good. So if you're someone who always strives for more maps and faster completion bonus, I'd certainly recommend these contracts. If these videos are helpful, please consider liking and subscribing, and take care and see you in the next video.